ever delivered. And I thought, man, how did he do that? How did this guy get his people to believe? And then how did he sell this to folks who weren't real prospects? What are those skills, right? So I tried to nail it down to this one word, and a bunch went through my mind, but the word that I really thought of was pride, right? Pride. See, each one of these leaders who I just talked about, you had no doubt they totally believed in the product they sell. Right? You had no doubt that Ronald Reagan believed communism was a bad thing, the Berlin Wall should fall. You had no doubt that Abe Lincoln thought that we should remain as one nation. And you had no doubt that this guy thought that white kids and black kids should go to school together. You see, what I was thinking is pride fuels the progress. You see, it's the gasoline that makes stuff happen. Now you're saying, all right, what does this have to do with selling insurance? When I'm not doing this, I have an opportunity to watch salespeople in action. I travel with them in their cars, or I'll sit next to them on the phone. And often I see salespeople delivering information, and they'll hang up that phone, or we'll walk out of that call, and I want to say, do you even like what you're selling, man? I can't tell, right? Do you like what you're selling? So it's kind of like what Bill said. Bill said people will say yes to you based more on emotion than logic. And so when you're in there serving people, I think it's important to use this word pride. Now, I want to share with you another great president, this guy, because he had an awesome sales presentation back in the 1960s. What was he selling the world? Does anyone remember? What was he selling the world on doing in the 1960s? All right, sending a man to the moon. Now check this out. He's got every black and white TV on across the country, and he's got to deliver his sales presentation. All right? So he has this idea that we can send a man to the moon. And oh, by the way, there's no materials that exist to put a man in orbit yet, but what the hell? So he gets in front of everybody, right, and he says, all right, here I go. He's got to convince them. And it's Boston brogue. He says, I believe that this nation should commit itself, before this decade is out, to land a man on the moon and return him safely to the earth. No space project will be more impressive to mankind or do more for the long-range exploration of space. He walked off the podium and people said, Mr. President, you gonna do what? For real? Really? You didn't just say that, did you? Right? And here's the cool thing about JFK. Not only did he say we're going to do something that seemed crazy, but he put a date on it. Before this decade is out. And when did we land a man on the moon? Yeah, July 1969. Now, I want you to think of the average or below average salesperson, how they would have delivered that presentation. Might have sounded like this. Thanks for coming. I got this idea. Check it out, right? I'm thinking we put a man in a rocket, fire him off. Maybe he comes back, maybe not. It's a numbers game. Should we? I don't know. See, that's what I was thinking. Huh? You in? Why don't I leave a brochure and call me back if you're interested, right? No, he wouldn't have done that, right? And so here's the point. When he delivered that presentation with conviction, even though there was doubt amongst his prospects, they followed him because he believed. And then, of course, they sold it to others. So remember, use this word pride. And what it is, it's a personal commitment and it's an attitude. It's what everything you've been talking about here in your meeting, and certainly what Bill has talked about. So I'm going to give you 5 steps today that are going to make you better at stealing customers, better at selling more.